acting school this year, so I can't take Spanish or PE, so we have to do it over the summer. So then my mom was like, oh, because I used to go to immersion school, all my friends go here, so she was like, why don't you just go to Lago del Bosque? I was like, what is that? And then she was like, it's a month-long program, you get credit, and I was like, oh, that's so much better than doing online classes all year versus just 1 month. So I was like, yeah, I'll try it. So then she sent me here, and I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
So since kindergarten, I've been in an immersion program. All of my classes are in Spanish, but we never really learned grammar rules. We were just kind of spoken to in Spanish until you understood what they were saying. And you start using them, but you're not aware. So being here really helps being like, oh, I did learn that, but not in the form that they're teaching me here.
So I'm definitely making a year's worth of progress because it's all immersion. We're getting work in, we're doing schoolwork. It's not just like, well, it is fun, but it's not all just like sports, or just like Spanish games. You're also doing like night programs when you learn even more. Even though like some people are in the 4-week, they're still learning a lot of Spanish. So I think, especially with the dances and stuff, it's also helping.
It's more of like explaining the rule and then how to use it, and then we practice it with worksheets and a lot of talking to counselors and telling our counselors what we're doing, and that's why we're using it. So I think that's really helpful with the verbal part of it, because then it clicks. And having the use and the worksheets to be like, oh, this is what the rule is, this is how you use it, this is what the context you use it in, is really nice and helpful, and I like
Yes,
that.
it's completely immersion, whereas my school, it's English teaching Spanish grammar. The people are actually giving you examples, and they're actually interacting with you instead of always reading out of the book.
I think if I traveled somewhere to a Spanish-speaking country, this experience would really help, in the sense that we're talking about more of everyday things like meals and using things in our houses and cleaning and things like that. So that's more everyday uses.
More immersion and more like flowy, and they're flexible, and for grades, like if you get a bad grade, they'll explain it versus just saying study at home, and just, I don't know, moving on to the next subject. It's also good if you want to get ahead in school, because it knocks it out in a month and you're already up to the next level. So I think it's a really good program for students to go to, especially if you're entering high school or you're going to a different school, like for the arts or anything else. I think it's very helpful.
I mean, I really enjoy it. I love living in the environment of a Spanish-speaking kind of bubble in Minnesota. Being just kind of forced to do everything in Spanish is really helpful. I mean, I do that at school, but in the reality that I actually speak Spanish all the time at school is very low. Very low probability that I do that. Well, here I do like super tablas, where it's a reward system, so you want to do it. I think it's just really fun in the environment that I'm put in to do that.